Here we go. Number 10.
Herd Hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
Cincinnati Bengals. Sorry, they beat the Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers that made the playoffs, and they beat the brakes off of Green Bay right now. They're a good football team. Joe Burrow is on fire. 5-game winning streak. He completed 77% of his throws, 13 TDs, 4 picks, and a 111 passer rating. That's just sometimes the way it works. You get hot too late. Cincinnati is a top 10 team in the league. Let me tell you who Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore didn't want to make the playoffs. Cincinnati. They were fine with Bo Nix. They were fine with Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud. They didn't want Bo Nix anywhere near the playoffs. Cincinnati at 10.
Number 9.
Minnesota. Yeah, they listen, they're like a really good student who got a D in their last couple of test scores. Doesn't make him a bad student. Top 10 scoring offense. Top 5 defense. They got out-coached last night. And they're not as good as Detroit. And frankly, the Rams' young defense is a sight to behold. But I have the Vikings at 9.
Number 8.
The inconsistent Houston Texans. Now, they're only 2-5 against playoff teams, and they're going to go to Kansas City. It's going to be cold, and they're going to probably get smoked. They're 9-0 when holding opponents to 20 points or fewer, and Kansas City's getting better on offense, so that's not going to happen. I think they're still a year away. I think Denver's a year away. I think Green Bay's a year away. I do think C.J. Stroud's a different quarterback on the road than at home. We told you that going into the Chargers game. C.J. Stroud, cold weather on the road. Their season will end.
Number 7.
Commanders. No punts or turnovers against the Bucs. I don't know if I like the team or I'm in love with Jaden Daniels. I mean, the kid's just, honest to God, there's about 60% Mahomes, 60% Lamar Jackson. It's the best rookie I've ever seen next to Andrew Luck. 6-game winning streak. Each of their last 5 games have been decided on the last play from scrimmage. You can't do that forever. That's just too emotional, too wild. I think they'll lose, but they deserve a ton of respect. How would you like to be Washington for the next 10 years with Jaden Daniels and cap space? Sign me up now.
Number 6.
Number 6 is the Rams. Played a perfect game in the first half last night, but they were not good on third down, and their offense can be really sluggish in the first half. Listen, they're really good. Not great, but they're 15-5 when they have Stafford and Puka and Kupp and Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams got dinged up last night. Cross your fingers. And they're 7-1 when they score 21+. Their offense gets stuck, though. And it happens kind of regularly where their offense gets stuck. But if you give McVay or Andy Reid extra time, good night. And I thought this defense is no joke. In the first 4 weeks of the year, they had 8 sacks. They had 8 sacks last night. This defense Jared Verse is unblockable. This kid right here jumping into the end zone. So the Rams are a young defense that about every 3 weeks you look up, and they're noticeably better. I have the Rams at number 6.
Number 5.
Philadelphia. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl. Yes, they're 13-1 of the last 14 games. They were 2 for 11 on third down. Jalen Hurts went nearly 2 full quarters without a completion, and I don't love the head coach. I do think they'll beat the Rams because the Rams played perfect and now go outdoors to cold weather, and Philadelphia played poorly and still won. They have the best roster in the NFL. But, I mean, Saquon Barkley is the leader of this team. It's not the quarterback. It's not the coach. This is the one team to me. Like, you can like Derrick Henry, but I get Lamar and John Harbaugh. Saquon Barkley leads this team. That's the guy in the O-line that I trust.
Number 4.
Listen, the Ravens are good. Boy, they are really dependent on Derrick Henry and Lamar, and that would concern me. 3 drives of 85-plus yards. You know what I feel about Lamar Jackson. Listen, they're 1-5 against the Chiefs, and they beat everybody else. So I don't think this team would beat Kansas City if they had to play them in Arrowhead. I just don't think they would because I think Kansas City is better defensively, and I think Baltimore is getting better on the defensive side. They held opponents under 20 points in 5 straight games. So that's what good coaching staffs do and good general managers do. Baltimore had a flaw, and they're now better at the flaw. Kansas City wasn't very good on offense early, and now Kansas City is better on offense. That's what good organizations do. So they've cleaned up the mess on defense. I have them there at, what do I have the Ravens at? 4.
Number 3.
Detroit Lions, second best roster in football, off a bye, hosting the Commanders. They struggle against mobile quarterbacks, which is not a good thing to struggle against in 2025 in the NFL. 6-2 against playoff teams. Dan Campbell has a culture of relentlessness. Guys play hurt. Jared Goff, for all you Jared Goff critics, this should be a Colin was really right for the next 10 years. Jared Goff, on 3rd and 4th down this year, 18 touchdowns, no picks. Best O-line in football.
Number 2. Number 1. Number 2.
Number 2, Kansas City. Listen, worst point differential in the history of the league for a team that's as good as them. I know they had a bye, and I know they'll be good, and I know they'll beat the brakes off of Houston. And they are getting stronger late with their musical chairs on the offensive line and Hollywood Brown. And they are 7-2 against current playoff teams and 21-2. But aesthetics matter and data matters. And my number 1 team in the league,
number 1,
is Buffalo. There's never been a team in pro football that had 30 passing touchdowns and over 30 rushing touchdowns. Not only do they win at home, all but one home game was a blowout. 7 win by 20 points. I think this offense is incredible. Left tackle, right now, the best remaining in the playoffs. Quarterback, most talented remaining in the playoffs. James Cook, top 5 running back. 2 good tight ends, 3 capable receivers. They are not as good as Kansas City defensively. There is no question. And maybe they don't match up with Baltimore defensively. But this team right now is so good offensively. Left tackle, quarterback, weapons, run game. I have them number 1 by an inch. I think this is the year. I think this is the best version of Buffalo. Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.